All right, good afternoon, cyber traders. Welcome on back here this Wednesday, March 16th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Great to see Johannes, who picked up some money on UVXY just now. Great to see Norman. Great to see Marie, perhaps rejoining us for the 2:30 session. Great to see Michael, Bill, all of us otherwise logged inside Cyber Group. And once again, if you're joining us back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube, welcome on back as well. Markets are not looking good. The top left-hand side of my screen here, the 5-minute chart. That's not the market. Let me just pull up the SPY here right now. Sometimes my chart kind of glitches out a bit like that. I like to show the 5-minute SPY at least, just to give us an overall look at the markets. And I know the Fed ended up just finishing up their meeting here. They ended up raising the rates by 0.25, I believe, BPS. So I'll get you all the headlines here in just a bit. But recently, a bit of a drop-off. I know that this afternoon meeting currently has a little competition with Jerome Powell doing a little presser right now. He's going to be talking like right now at this time. So I know, those comments are going to generate some moves within the market, but altogether, it's a bit of a drop off, right? SPY's breaking below support levels I've lined up from this morning, unless if there's a big slingshot coming right back on up very shortly from right now, very imminently from right now, ain't looking too good. So, for right now, the BEKE trade, I was hopeful to see this sling back over 14 and make a really good bounce. Doesn't look like that's going to be, happening here right now. If anything, if 14 holds as resistance, this could easily drop off another 50 plus cents, if not dollar. So yeah, right now the BEKE trade, just it's a pretty volatile stock. Trades a lot of volume today. Might be more exhausted than anything this point, but you know what? I like it for right now. I'm hopeful more than anything to see another like 50 cent to dollar move off the 14 level here heading into the close. We ended up seeing like a 558,000 share print get filled earlier today off of 1450, and I was hopeful to see it hold there as support. Well, it didn't happen. Ended up breaking below there, acted as a great short from there and from 15 ultimately, and then that's what led to the drop off here. So BEKE, I'll put back on our watch list so far for the afternoon. But otherwise, what we'll just do is go right from top to bottom, probably more on the bottom side with the way the market's moving here. I know the Chinese stocks ended up making a really good squeeze from earlier this morning. We were following NIO. We were following KC here. The ZH trade. I know Brian was all over here, top, number 3 gainer here for right now. So let's see what's on the gainer side, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot more stocks going with the market, moving down towards the lows for right now. SONN, Sun, another Sun stock from yesterday, but this one, yeah, kind of pulling back here off its highs. Nice little move from earlier, I'm sure, if anyone caught some good money on this trade earlier. Nice, but yeah, right now for the afternoon, not looking as good. The KC trade, hey, this was moving pretty similar to the BEKE trade in the sense of just the squeeze from the morning. And right now, I mean, you could say they're kind of dropping back, pulling back off their levels at the same time. Here on the KC trade, ultimately kind of just breaking off of the 550 level, and on the BEKE trade, breaking off of the 14. So, I feel like if I put one on the list, I'll put the other. So I'll do that. ZH is hard to borrow, so if it drops, we can't really short it. But yeah, so it's more flat than anything. We'll pass on this altogether, really. All right, we keep it going. VNet, you could say it's kind of near the highs, pretty damn close to the highs, in fact. I don't know what happened news-wise, perhaps earnings or upgrade, whatnot. But, I mean, hey, it's holding up there as the markets are taking a dive. So, yeah, I mean, we'll come back to this if we need to. This is an ETF, I think. Yep, China ETF. I'm going to pass on the ETFs, folks, for right now. I think that includes YY, if I'm not mistaken. I think I am mistaken. YY is not an ETF. Ended up making a nice push earlier this morning, roughly from 31.50, 32, up towards just over 40. But paper thin order book. Not a fan of the order book more than anything, so I'll pass on this either way. All right, BEK is on our list already. PDD has made a really good squeeze from yesterday. I know that. And then this morning ended up making a bigger move. So from like 35, 50, 36, made a slingshot up about 5 points higher. You could put this on your watch list if you've done really well on this trade the last 2.5 days. For all of us in Cyber Group that have traded this, the few perhaps, you know who you are. right? You know, you're going to put it on your personal list in that case, and that's a good idea. But, you know, a little pricey otherwise, you know, a little volatile here. Don't have a great need to put this on our list unless if it was showing much better direction. You know, if the stock was like really showing a true direction here, like trying to pop off 41 or already breaking off 41, you know, that's different. But yeah, I mean, hey, if it does that by the end of this meeting, let me know. All right, we keep it going here. DOYU, we're going to kind of skim across the gainer side right now because, you know, hey, I'm not expecting much to be near the highs with the market dropping off, even if there was a stock that was up 10, 15, 20+% like a NIO. You know, hey, with the market pulling back like it did, I'm not expecting that to be as close to the highs. The DD trade's just really slow. IQ, I'd reckon to, you know, look the same way here. Kind of slow, stagnant right now. Nice pop from earlier though. We took full advantage of this trade more than anything when it ended up breaking above its opening bell print and its big pre-market resistance off of 270. From there, it led to a great squeeze. So you know that's where we caught it from. Ultimately, could have been from 250. But yeah, I mean, you can keep this on your side list perhaps for rest of this week, for next week. Maybe if you know there's more signs of life tomorrow morning, I'd be more interested in this trade. All right, let's see what else we got. JD, another Chinese stock. I know that, but one that a little expensive, but trades a lot of volume per minute. Good spreads for a $60 stock. You know, for anyone that's more of a level 4 trader and above, I'd say, you know, for anyone that really knows, you know, their stuff here with CTU, then if you tend to trade the more expensive stocks, kind of similar to PDD, I think that JD would be a good stock for you to keep on your side list at minimum. You know, it's just only been getting more volatile of late. You can see that from the ATR over the last, you know, 7 rolling days here on average, and it's been like parabolically kind of pushing up there, the ATR. All right, let's see what else we got here, folks. I'm going to kind of just jump to the loser side. You know, I'm not expecting for there to be a whole lot left that's, you know, looking great from the gainer side. If there are any, then let me know. I'll kind of just skim through them at the end if I need to. Market is trying to make that, you know, little slingshot, actually. I didn't think it was going to, if it was going to hold under resistance there, but we'll see. I'll show you what I'm looking at in terms of the SPY at the end. All right, let's see the loser side here. I'll tell you, there's a bunch of crap that's hard to borrow. You can't really short that stuff, right? The 9 trade energy stock, I know that was pushing upward earlier, so I guess you could say trying to recover, but we left off on that trade, yeah, right when it was beginning to make that squeeze back up. So since, unfortunately, not a whole lot's happened, you know, that looks that great. So yeah, for this trade, we're going to pass on it. Let's see, anything that's shortable even. Maybe I jump back to the gainer side. Maybe the market's bouncing again. Another squeeze back up, perhaps. EXK. All right, so let me see if I could try and pull up the SPY at the end. But for right now, folks, if there's any other stocks that look good up, down, left, right, more than, well, we'll say 5 or 10%, let me know. There's definitely going to be a couple that I missed. And, you know, as you look to type any in, I'll kind of just start off by going through some side list stocks like the AMC trade. You know, we love trading AMC. It's making a little bit of a bounce here, perhaps, for the meantime. The NIO trade chart was messy from earlier going into the afternoon, but right now it's beginning to make a nice dead cat bounce here. James can't hear. That's not good. You won't be able to hear me to tell him to log out, log back in. 1 second. All right, so from Yehuda inside Cyber Group, we have the LI trade he says is moving. Yeah, similar to NIO. You know, similar to NIO. Norman says the NLOC stock and NLOK, it was shortable and it's down over 15%, right? So in terms of, you know, a tradable stock that could be a continued move down heading into the close, this could be a decent one. And we're not really at an excess of stocks to put on our list. So you know what? I like it. Looks all right. We'll give it a good look. All right. So let me just do this really quick. Not for NLOC, and hopefully my charts don't freeze up on me, so bear with me if so. But we're going to turn over to the SPY here. Normally, my platform crashes or freezes up just between all of the data on time and sales and level 3. But we're going to focus more, if I can, on fib levels. I basically ran a fib retracement from top to bottom here, back from early to mid-February, roughly off of 4. Oh, no, actually even higher. Shoot. I have to go back even further. From the peak there off of 480, I ended up running a fib retracement from the very peak on the SPY back from the beginning of this year all the way down to this bottom off of 410. And it's just to say it kind of just made a bit of a slingshot off that price level right now, off of a major fib support, I should say. So give me a quick moment. I guess I can't really pull up the full chart right now. It's kind of freezing up my screen. It's the 23.6% retracement. So, perhaps for right now, you can get a smaller interim bounce back up heading into the afternoon. I hope so, at least. So that's pretty much right off of 426.67. And then I also had a couple of other support levels roughly off of 426 and 425.70. So it crashed under those prices, but began to squeeze back up. And that's the more important part here heading into the close. It's always the reaction after. Once you happen to see a big level get tested or broken through, it's not seeing the level get broken through that ultimately matters. That's a huge talking point, but it's the reaction afterwards. So shoot, my stuff's frozen here, folks. So I figured I was going to do that at the end. But nonetheless, the SPY is making a nice bounce right now over the last, 5 or even 3 minutes as I'm talking. That was pretty much right from the point to where it had bottomed out, began to push back up through my, support lines. So that's what I'm talking about here heading into the afternoon. So with that, perhaps we do put NIO back on our watch list. Perhaps we do focus on a stock like LI that can go with NIO. BEKE is making the bounce from 14 already. I don't know if anyone jumped in from that, if they were kind of following along with the market as I've been going, but that's already up 30 or so cents from 14. So it is really the reaction afterwards that matters the most. Ultimately with the Fed meeting that happened here today, they ended up raising the rates by 25 basis points, 0.25, right? Powell recently, I'm just catching the headlines right now because he had jumped on a presser at 2:30 Eastern. So, right at the same time as I started this meeting. Powell says they're currently reading prepared. Or no, hold on. Give me a sec. Powell says before the Russian invasion of Ukraine, he would have thought the inflation would have peaked at the end of Q1 2022. Warrens were already seeing inflation effects from the invasion, so he doesn't sound too optimistic about the inflation dropping off across the near parts of this calendar year, it seems like. All right. There's plenty more headlines, folks. I could be here all day kind of reciting them to you. But as I said previously, it is the reaction afterwards that matters the most. NIO's already slingshotting all the way back up to 18. So we're definitely going to re-add NIO to our watch list. The LI stock that can move with it in sympathy. I do like that from Yehuda inside the trading room. Brian says the SoFi stock is popping. I'm not going to be able to show it on the screen. I'm going to need to honestly refresh my whole freaking platform now at this point. Kind of shot myself in the foot there. SoFi is a sideless stock. If you do well on it, definitely focus on it if you do well on it. Otherwise, though, if you're not really familiar with the stock, I think that you should kind of look to this list here to begin. That's all. All right, folks. But aside from that, for all of us on Facebook Live and YouTube, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every afternoon. If you have any other questions, feel more than free to send on an email over to josh@c2trading.com. I always like to post my email address here at the bottom of the streams here at the end. And aside from that, enjoy the rest of the day. For all of us live inside Cyber Group, I'll be back on the microphone later on this afternoon. It's been a long day of talking there, folks. Jeez. This afternoon at 3:30 Eastern time. I'll talk to you then.